The sunlight poured through the large bay windows, casting a golden glow on the polished hardwood floor of the elegant bedroom. Rebecca stood before the ornate vanity mirror, her fingers gently tracing along the delicate curve of her neck. The reflection staring back at her was captivating. Her striking blue eyes held an intensity, a yearning that was both alluring and disquieting. Just as she began to lose herself in contemplation, the peace of the moment was abruptly interrupted by the sound of footsteps. The door swung open, and Lucas, her stepson, stood framed in the doorway, the bright light creating a halo around his silhouette. He stepped into the room with an intentional grace, his gaze roving over her with an unsettling intensity that made her heart race. "Rebecca," he said softly, his voice low and smooth. "I didn't mean to intrude, but I needed to see you." She felt a thrill run through her, a combination of excitement and dread. "Lucas, this isn't the time," she whispered, glancing nervously toward the door. He moved closer, the air thickening with unspoken tension. "I can't help it. There's something between us, something that feels unavoidable." A chill swept down Rebecca's spine at his words. They had danced around their emotions for far too long, the mutual attraction simmering beneath layers of propriety and familial duty. "This is wrong," she managed to murmur, her voice barely audible. "You're my stepson," which makes it all the more exciting, Lucas replied with a daring smile, stepping even closer, his breath warm against her skin. In that moment, the outside world faded away, leaving them suspended in a charged atmosphere. When his lips met hers, a spark ignited. They kissed like two flames colliding, and in that fleeting moment, nothing else mattered. But the serenity was shattered as the door swung open once more. Michael, Rebecca's husband, stood frozen on the threshold. Disbelief twisted his expression, emotions shifting from confusion to betrayal in an instant. "What the hell is going on?" he demanded, his voice shaking with a mix of shock and anger. Rebecca and Lucas instinctively pulled apart, guilt flooding their features. Reality crashed around them, leaving a bitter aftertaste of remorse and fear. "Michael, Rebecca stammered, her mind racing as she sought for a way to explain. But words felt woefully inadequate. "You don't get to explain," Michael snapped, his expression darkening. "What I just witnessed is beyond explanation." He stood rooted to the spot, his heart aching from the betrayal that rippled through their once happy home. Lucas's bravado started to crumble under the weight of the moment. "Uncle Michael, please, it's not what you think." "It's exactly what I think," Michael replied, his tone icy. "This is a betrayal of the deepest kind." The air in the room turned electric with an undercurrent of tension, as if the walls themselves were braced for the explosion of emotion that was about to unfold. Rebecca could feel panic rising within her, pushed to confront the terrible truth of their hidden desires. "I never wanted this," she whispered, anguish threading through her voice. "We were caught in a moment, a mistake." "A mistake?" Michael interrupted, disbelief lacing his words. "This is not just a mistake. This is a destruction of trust, an erosion of everything we built." Rebecca stepped towards Michael, desperation evident in her expression. "We can work through this. We must try to understand." "Understand what?" "That you've betrayed me with my own son." The rawness of his pain cut through her like a knife. "What do you expect me to do?" "Just forgive and forget." Lucas, feeling a possessive urgency, interjected. "We care for each other, Uncle. This isn't just desire, it's real. You have to see that." "See that?" Michael shot back, incredulous. "You think your feelings give you the right to destroy our family? You think love justifies this?" A tense silence settled over them, each member of the trio grappling with a torrent of emotions that threatened to drown them. The fragile threads of their lives, once woven together by love and loyalty, were now fraying, hanging by a thread. Rebecca looked back and forth between the two men, aware that her heart was pulling her into uncharted depths. "We need to talk about this, to confront what's happened and where we stand," but the words fell flat, trapped in a web of bitter reality. The decisions before them loomed like shadows, threatening to engulf their lives forever. Each heart harbored secrets and shame that could reverberate through their existence. The love they had thought invincible was now tethered by the ghost of betrayal, and the choice laid bare before them would determine the course of their futures. Would it be a path of confrontation, of truth, or would they succumb to the seduction of their dark desires, digging deeper into a forbidden love that could shatter everything? In that room, under the harsh light filtering through the windows, they stood on the precipice of their fates, each one waiting for the other to make a move that would change everything. The weight of their choices hung heavily in the air, an inevitable reckoning of love, desire, and the cost of betrayal.